Do you need to get that?
Ugh, it's work. I should.
Go on. We'll be fine. Won't we, Victor?
Delgado, what did he say?
My little sweetheart. Nobody knows, just you and I, who you really are. And we both know Taya's not your real mother. For heaven's sakes, what is that? Do I see a scowl on your face? Yes, I do. When you look like that, you look just like your father.
So am I reading this right? Sam and Franco are both O positive?
Yeah.
Right? And the baby is AB negative.
Yeah. That's what the form says, but there's gotta be a mistake.
What if it isn't?
What do you mean?
What if somehow Sam's little boy got switched with another child?
Patrick's back in the labs conferencing with the researchers from the CDC.
Are they any closer to finding a cure?
They're trying to isolate a counteragent.
That's not an answer.
The truth is, we're running out of time.
Are you really thinking that baby wasn't Sam's?
Elizabeth, all I know is when I put him in Sam's arms, she swore to me that it was a different baby.
Looks good. No head trauma. I'm gonna send you home. I'm sure you'd rather work this out with your family.
Wait, what about you and your family? I know Elizabeth is working. What about her kids?
Cam and Aiden missed Jerry's little party. My grandma has them down at Disney World. They have no idea anything's wrong, thank God.
Olivia?
She's still here in the hospital. There are side effects from the overdose of LSD my mother injected her with, and I don't know why, but someone at Ferncliff gave my mother access to a phone. So in between patients, I had to tell her once again that I want nothing to do with her.
I'm sorry. I know that must be difficult.
It's difficult living with all the damage she's done. And I never should have agreed to let her out. I'm sorry.
Hey, look, you were just trying to be a good son. I know that.
Well, she's at Ferncliff now, and as long as she's locked up, she can't hurt anybody else.
No, actually, I'm not understanding what you're saying. Well, I'm relatively bright, so why don't you give it another whirl? Start with the basics. What was her name again? Yes, and I'm assuming you have a complete history on her. And you're telling me this for the first time now? Well, I want you to email me a document immediately.
We're not going to tell anybody who your real parents are. No, we're not. I know that Sam thinks Franco's the father, but we know better, don't we? Oh, yes, we do. Sam's the mother, and Jason's your real father. And thanks to Todd Manning, you're here with Taya.
I'm sorry, what did you just say to me? Oh, really? Uh-huh.
Well, at least she's smart, and she has some taste. But she doesn't love you the way I do. No, she doesn't. That's why I'm gonna be your mommy. And you're gonna be my new little Stephen Lars. Hey, everybody deserves a second chance, right? Well, you're mine. That's gonna be our little secret. Just as long as no one finds me and I can figure out a way to take care of you. Yes, I can.
Susan.
Did you finish your phone call?
Unfortunately, yes, I did.
Is something wrong?
Yes. Something's very wrong.
Hey, are you okay?
Don't let me drop him.
No, of course not. Wait, Steve, we need your help.
I got it. I need a wheelchair over here.
Hey, buddy. Hey, everything's gonna be okay. Mommy asked me to hold you to keep you safe.
I found him exactly where Sam said, out on the porch in the planter box. But she was sure it wasn't her baby.
Jason, she was in denial.
I know that, and I explained all that to Sam. But the blood types don't match. So maybe she was right. Maybe it wasn't her baby. positive parents cannot have a baby that's AB negative. So maybe it wasn't Sam's baby I found that night.
Which would mean what? That Sam's baby's still alive?
I mean, it's possible.
They do our best, but hospitals make mistakes.
Okay, then, but why didn't Dr. Lee catch it then? She went over the chart with Sam.
It's possible she wasn't even looking at the blood type because it wasn't relevant at that moment.
She told Sam the baby had hemophilia. How could the blood type not be relevant?
Jason, listen to me. It would be wonderful to think that this was all some big mistake and that Sam's baby is still alive. But don't get your hopes up over this. It's probably nothing. This isn't my baby. Sam said she put the baby in a planter box, right? And that's where you found
There's
him.
just too many discrepancies. The blood type, hemophilia, why didn't it show up on the prenatal scans? And what about the lungs? He seemed fine when he was born.
You weren't there when he was born. You don't know how he was breathing. Obviously, Sam felt there was something wrong. That's why she went to go give her help, right?
Yes, I understand that. But Sam and McBain both said when the baby was first born, he was strong and healthy and breathing normally and crying out loudly. How can you do that if your lungs aren't developed?
You're jumping to conclusions.
Something does not add up. Sam was careful with prenatal care. She had screenings and ultrasounds, and everyone showed that the baby was healthy, just like the baby she had in the motel, not a baby whose lungs did not develop.
So what's your explanation?
I don't have one. But I know there is a time that I cannot account for. When Sam was passed out in the garden shed on the floor, something could have happened.
Like someone with a dead infant was wandering around and found Sam's and switched the babies? Come on, Jason, what are the odds of
What are
that?
the odds, Elizabeth? But based on this file, it's possible that the baby that I put in Sam's arms that night was not her baby.
I am so sorry to say this, but Jason, I think you're in denial.
You seem upset. Has something happened?
Sorry, I'm just frustrated. My daughter's gone off to college, so I lost my live-in babysitter. Been trying to work at home, but that is impossible. Been looking for a nanny for several weeks, and I can't find anyone. That is the third agency I just hung up on. I need to go back to work. I need to find a nanny, but with everything Victor's been through...
You can never be too careful.
And I can't very well go into court and say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please ignore the baby on my hip.
Maybe I can help you out.
Deal's off.
It's hard to manage a baby when you've got work to do and places to go. At the very least, you need a good sitter.
Well, apparently finding a good sitter is easier said than done.
I still got to. I think I can help you out.
Well, unless you know of a babysitter in Port Charles who's willing to relocate, I don't see how.
I'll be honest. Seeing this wonderful little boy again and knowing how much help you need, I was thinking maybe I could step in, at least short term.
What are you saying, Susan?
I could be Victor's nanny.
I had a little baby once. He was a little boy with beautiful blue eyes. He looked just like his... He looked like his uncle. I thought he was gonna grow up to be strong and healthy. I felt so good in my arms. Oh, it's okay. There you go.
Got his mother hooked up to IV fluids. Hopefully it'll help. She's asking for her son.
It's okay.
Sam. You okay?
Oh, gosh, yeah. Yeah, here, yeah. You should give him to his mother. I'm sure she's missing him.
Hi. I know.
These records are inconsistent. So how do I make sure the child Sam buried is really her son?
You need to have a second autopsy done. And you would need Sam's permission to exhume the body.
And that's a lot to put her through.
Especially for nothing. Jason, I'm telling you, all you found was an error in those records. There's no chance Sam's baby is still alive. And to reopen that hope and put her through that loss a second time. I mean, do you really want to hurt Sam that way? What way?
You want to apply for the job?
Oh, I don't really think of it as a job. Taking care of that little bundle of joy, it would be such a pleasure.
But aren't you en route to somewhere?
First stop, Landview, to check in on Victor. After that, I really don't have any concrete plans. I was just gonna see what opened up.
So you don't have anyone waiting for you anywhere, or?
Oh, I didn't mean to give you that impression. I'm sorry. I just thought it would be a lovely time of year to travel this part of the country.
Well, that is tremendously generous of you, but I don't want to rope you into something.
Oh, but you wouldn't be. I love children. That's why it was so lucky that Todd brought Victor to me. And I was able to take care of him the way that I was. I could do infant CPR in my sleep. I don't know, maybe it was kismet.
Well, we are incredibly grateful to you. But the truth is, we don't really know each other.
Well, actually, we do have one very important thing in common. We both care about the welfare of this lovely little boy. And who better to take care of him than the stranger who brought him back to life?
I was just talking about the baby.
I wanted to let you know that I got a little carried away imagining what life might have been.
It's okay, there's nothing wrong.
I know, it's just, it's easy to let myself go there, Jason. To imagine us happy as a family. But I know that it's not real, and my son is gone, and as it turns out, he could have never lived at all.
Sam,
Jason, I hope that it gives you some peace, knowing the truth, after everything that I did to you.
I was wrong. And I would do anything to fix it.
No, you can't. And that's not your fault. I know Steve wanted to release me, and I don't want to keep on waiting. I'm gonna go. Jason, you really need to sit down.
I know that I could be wrong about the baby, but I still gotta find out.
What Sam said about the fantasy and what the baby's life would have been like.
Yeah, it just helps her with the grief, that's all.
Maybe that's why you're asking if the baby could still be alive. You're using the air and the medical chart.
However,
as
I
an
got the
excuse.
idea. I still need to find out the truth.
Hey. They released me. I wanted to say goodbye.
Where you going?
My mother's.
How are your sisters?
Oh, Christina's fine. She was out of town, so she wasn't affected. But Molly, it's just not fair, Jason. Why couldn't Jerry spare the kids?
It's not over. It's not over. Still a chance they can find the cure, but it's good that you're going to be with her.
What are you gonna do?
I'm just going to wait, for surgery, and eventually they'll
For what, Jason? What if there's no time?
You mean, what if we're dying?
He stopped crying. He just wanted a little back rub. Now he's happy.
How did you know?
He just had that look about him.
Oh, my daughter's in college. I feel like I've forgotten everything I used to know about taking care of kids.
Don't worry. It all comes back to you.
You mentioned you have children?
Yes. A son. A wonderful son. He's made me very proud.
You're close to him?
Very. Plans, and maybe I sounded vague. But I've learned that over the years, sometimes the most wonderful things happen when you least expect them. If you plan every moment, who has time for happy accidents?
You're right. You have to make time and space to allow for things to happen.
It just feels right. Seeing you again. That wonderful boy.
You know what? I am so used to banging on closed doors. And here you are, opening your heart to me. You got a deal, Susan.
Excellent.
Providing that your references check out.
Thank you for making me see that my baby didn't die because I left him alone on the porch.
I'll always be with you.
No, and maybe I'll get to see him soon.
Stop. Don't think about dying.
Well, if it does happen, Jason, I want you to know that I'm going to be thinking about you. And the time that we spent together was amazing. And if this were to happen then, if we were dying when we were together, I want you to know that I would die happy.
I'm so glad I stopped by. You'd really consider hiring me to be Victor's nanny?
Susan, I'm gonna have to check your references first.
Of course, of course. I'll get you everything you need. And I assure you, if you hire me, I'll take care of this little one as if he were my very own.
Hey.
Goodbye.
No, don't say that.
Okay, then I'll see you later.
You know, Susan, if your references check out, maybe you're right. Maybe this is kismet. Certainly finding you on my doorstep when I have a deposition due and clients stacked up, that qualifies as good luck. Ugh. Scratch that. That qualifies as the best thing to happen to me since Todd found you in the woods and you saved my son's life.
I couldn't agree more.
Gotta take you in to get some more blood work. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you for, taking me through this.
Oh, I don't think I was a lot of help. I mean, like I said, you're gonna have to get Sam's permission to
Yeah,
assume
but
the baby's
maybe
body.
there's another way.
But really, Jason, does it even matter? I mean, with the way things are going, we're all gonna be dead in the next
I'm not
24
gonna accept that we're
hours.
dying. And I'm gonna find out what happened to Sam's baby.